Attractiveness goes far beyond just physical beauty. It's a unique blend of presence, confidence, energy, and the way you carry yourself, and often others notice it before you do. Being a highly attractive woman doesn't necessarily mean fitting into traditional beauty standards. Instead, it's about how you naturally draw people in, how they react to you, and the impression you leave behind. You might not even be aware of the effect you have on others, but the signs are often there in everyday interactions, subtle behaviors, and the way people treat you. Many women are surprised when they find out they are perceived as highly attractive, simply because they've gotten used to the attention or they've been too humble to recognize it. However, psychology and social behavior reveal clear patterns in how people respond to attractiveness. Whether it's through body language, increased attention, or the way strangers act around you, these signs are often consistent and noticeable when you start paying attention. This list of 15 signs highlights how attractiveness can manifest in everyday life, not through exaggerated compliments or obvious flattery, but through subtle gestures, unspoken reactions, and consistent behavior from others. If you find that many of these signs apply to you, chances are your beauty and presence leave a stronger impact than you realize. And remember, being attractive isn't just about how you look, it's about how you make people feel, how you light up a room, and the confidence you carry within. Recognizing these signs isn't about boosting ego, but about becoming more self-aware and embracing your natural strengths with pride. 1. People make prolonged eye contact with you. When someone finds you attractive, they tend to hold eye contact longer than usual. This behavior is often unconscious, driven by genuine interest or admiration. Prolonged eye contact is a powerful form of non-verbal communication that signals attention, curiosity, and emotional connection. It can create a sense of intimacy, even between strangers, and is often used to gauge another person's reaction or feelings. From a psychological perspective, maintaining eye contact releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone, which can make interactions feel more meaningful and personal. People may find themselves captivated by your presence without even realizing it. This level of attention isn't always about physical beauty alone. It often reflects a combination of appearance, aura, and charisma. Furthermore, prolonged eye contact can also indicate a person is trying to read you more deeply, wanting to understand your thoughts or emotions. It's a subtle but strong sign that someone sees you as intriguing or compelling. If you frequently notice others locking eyes with you, especially in social settings, it may be a strong indication that they find you highly attractive. 2. Strangers often compliment you. When you're a highly attractive woman, one common sign is receiving frequent compliments from strangers. These compliments might be about your appearance, your smile, your style, or even your overall presence. What makes this significant is that it comes from people who don't know you personally. They're responding purely to the impression you give off. Attractiveness tends to draw attention, and when it leaves a positive impact, people often feel compelled to express their admiration. This spontaneous praise can happen anywhere, in a store, at work, on the street, or even online. It's not always flirtatious either. Sometimes it's simply someone appreciating something beautiful or magnetic when they see it. Psychologically, people are more likely to approach and compliment those they find visually appealing or energetically captivating. It shows that your appearance or vibe leaves a memorable mark. And when this kind of attention becomes a regular part of your daily life, it reflects more than just a good outfit or hairstyle. It points to a consistent, natural attractiveness that people feel drawn to acknowledge, even without knowing you. 3. You get approached frequently. Being approached often is a clear indicator of attractiveness. When you're a highly attractive woman, people naturally feel compelled to engage with you. Whether it's to start a conversation, offer help, ask a question, or even express romantic interest. This happens because your presence stands out and draws attention in a way that makes others want to connect. This kind of approach isn't limited to social or romantic situations. It can happen in casual settings like cafes, public transport, or events, where people may find any excuse to talk to you. Sometimes it's direct, and other times it's subtle, like someone asking for directions or striking up small talk, just to be near you or interact with you for a moment. From a psychological angle, people are more likely to overcome social hesitation or fear of rejection when they perceive someone as especially attractive. Your looks, confidence, or vibe can make them feel it's worth the risk. Even those who are usually shy may find themselves drawn to you, pushed by curiosity or admiration. If you find that people regularly make the first move to start a conversation or get your attention, it's often a strong, unconscious sign of your high attractiveness. Others seem nervous or intimidated around you. When you're highly attractive, it's not uncommon for people to feel nervous, shy, or even slightly intimidated in your presence. This reaction is usually unintentional and rooted in how much someone values your appearance, presence, or energy. The more someone is impressed by you, the more pressure they may feel to present themselves well, which can lead to awkwardness, stammering, or overly cautious behavior. This nervousness doesn't always mean fear. Often, it reflects admiration. People may worry about saying the wrong thing or not being good enough around you. They might fidget, avoid direct eye contact, or seem overly polite. In some cases, they may even act distant or cold, not because they dislike you, but because they feel unsure of how to engage. Psychologically, strong physical or personal appeal can trigger a heightened self-awareness in others. They start to compare themselves or overthink their actions. If you regularly notice that people act differently, more reserved, overly respectful, or strangely formal, it's often a subtle sign that your attractiveness has an emotional impact, making others more self-conscious when they're around you. 5. You receive a lot of attention on social media. In today's digital age, social media can be a strong reflection of how others perceive your attractiveness. If you consistently get high engagement, likes, comments, shares, or followers, it's often because people are drawn to your appearance, style, or overall vibe. While online popularity isn't the only measure of beauty, it can reveal patterns of admiration and interest, especially when it comes from people who don't know you personally. Attractive individuals naturally catch the eye in photos or videos, and social platforms are designed to highlight what gets attention. Whether it's selfies, fashion posts, or candid moments, if your content frequently stands out and gains positive responses, it shows that people are visually and emotionally drawn to you. Psychologically, people are more likely to interact with content they find visually pleasing or inspiring. That means your presence, expression, or aesthetic can subconsciously invite more engagement. If your posts regularly spark reactions, comments, or even DMs, it's a strong sign that your attractiveness leaves an impact, even through a screen. 6. People remember you easily. When you're highly attractive, people tend to remember you, even after brief interactions. This isn't just about physical beauty. It's about the overall impression you leave. Your appearance, confidence, energy, or the way you carry yourself can make you stand out in someone's memory long after you've walked away. This effect happens because attractiveness activates stronger emotional and visual responses in the brain. When someone finds you appealing, their mind naturally pays more attention and forms a clearer memory of your face, voice, or presence. You might notice people recognizing you in public, recalling details you mentioned in passing, or bringing up moments you barely remember. Because for them, you made a lasting impact. Being memorable also means you might not need to reintroduce yourself as often, and people may mention you in conversations even when you're not around. It's a subtle but powerful sign that your attractiveness isn't just surface level. It's something that leaves a mark on people's minds. Whether it's your look, your smile, or the way you make others feel, you're simply hard to forget. 7. You're often the subject of gossip or envy. When you're a highly attractive woman, people may talk about you, both positively and negatively, more than you realize. Being the subject of gossip or envy isn't always about doing something wrong. It often stems from how others perceive your beauty, confidence, or the attention you receive. Attractiveness can stir admiration, but it can also trigger jealousy, especially in social or competitive environments. Some people may compare themselves to you or feel insecure around you, leading to subtle resentment or whispered conversations. Others might make assumptions about your life, relationships, or personality based solely on how you look. It's not always fair, but it's a common reaction when someone stands out naturally. Psychologically, envy is often a reflection of what someone wishes they had. So when people envy or gossip about you, it usually means you possess qualities, whether physical beauty, style, or charm, that they find desirable or intimidating. If you've ever walked into a room and noticed whispers, stares, or sudden shifts in mood, it could be because your presence draws attention in ways that others can't ignore, even if they don't always express it kindly. 8. People try to impress you. When you're highly attractive, people often feel the need to go out of their way to impress you. This can show up in many forms, from how they talk, dress, behave, or even the stories they tell around you. They might brag a little more, act overly polite, or try to highlight their talents and achievements, all in an effort to gain your attention or approval. This behavior usually happens because your presence makes them care more about how they're being perceived. Whether it's someone trying to sound smarter, be funnier, or appear more successful, it's often because they see you as someone whose opinion matters. People naturally want to stand out to those they find attractive, and impressing you becomes a way to feel noticed or validated. Psychologically, attraction can trigger a desire to compete or perform. It's part of human nature. If you often find yourself in situations where people seem to step up their game around you, it's a clear sign that your looks or presence influence how others behave. It's not about being treated differently on purpose. It's that your attractiveness shifts the energy in the room without you even trying. 9. You get free things or special treatment. 1. Subtle but telling sign of high attractiveness is receiving free items, favors, or noticeably better treatment in everyday situations. Whether it's a free drink, a discount, extra service, or simply being prioritized in a queue, people often go out of their way to be kind or generous when they find someone attractive. This special treatment isn't always conscious. Human psychology naturally favors beauty, a phenomenon known as the halo effect, where people associate physical attractiveness with other positive traits like kindness, intelligence, or trustworthiness. As a result, you may notice that strangers are more willing to help you, offer compliments, or make exceptions for you without any effort on your part. This doesn't just happen in romantic or flirtatious scenarios either. Even in professional or public settings, your attractiveness can subtly influence how others interact with you. If you've experienced people offering you things without you asking, or being unusually accommodating, it could be because your presence leaves a strong, positive impression. It's not about manipulation or vanity. It's simply how attraction can affect human behavior on a subconscious level. Others mirror your body language. When people find you highly attractive, they often begin to subconsciously mirror your body language during interactions. This means they may copy your gestures, posture, tone, or even the way you speak. It's a subtle, natural response that stems from a desire to connect, bond, or be liked by you. Psychologically, mirroring is a form of flattery and rapport building. It shows that someone is engaged, paying close attention to you, and trying to create a sense of similarity or harmony. This behavior often happens without the person realizing it. Their brain is simply responding to the attraction they feel. For example, if you cross your legs or tilt your head, they may do the same moments later. This unconscious mimicry is rooted in empathy and connection. When someone mirrors you, it signals that they're drawn to you and want to align with your energy. If you notice that people often match your movements, expressions, or even your pace during conversation, it's a strong indication that your attractiveness is influencing them on a deeper level than just surface admiration. It means you're not only being noticed, you're being deeply felt. 11. Friends ask for your fashion or beauty advice. If your friends often come to you for fashion tips, beauty routines, or style suggestions, it's a strong sign that they see you as someone with standout looks and natural charm. People tend to seek advice from those they admire or find visually appealing, especially when it comes to personal appearance. Being seen as a source of inspiration means others recognize that you consistently present yourself well, whether it's your outfits, skincare, hair, or overall aesthetic. It also shows that they trust your taste and view your sense of style as something worth emulating. Even if you don't consider yourself a beauty expert, the fact that people ask you for guidance reflects the impression you leave on them. Psychologically, when someone is perceived as attractive, their choices, from clothing to grooming, carry more weight and influence. Others want to know what makes you stand out, and they hope that following your advice might help them achieve a similar effect. If friends frequently compliment your look and then follow up with, "Where did you get that?" or "How do you do your makeup like that?" it's a clear sign that your attractiveness is both noticed and admired. 12. People smile at you often. When you're highly attractive, one of the most common and genuine responses you'll notice from others is frequent smiling. People tend to smile more around those they find appealing. It's an instinctive, warm reaction that signals friendliness, interest, or admiration. These smiles can come from strangers, acquaintances, or even people just passing by. Smiling is a non-verbal cue deeply tied to emotions. It can be a sign of nervousness, happiness, or even a subconscious way of seeking connection. When someone finds you attractive, they may automatically smile as a way to engage or show appreciation without saying a word. It's their way of expressing, "You've caught my attention," even if the interaction is brief. This behavior isn't limited to social situations. You might notice it during everyday errands, walking down the street, or simply entering a room. If people often make eye contact and pair it with a friendly or bashful smile, it's a strong indicator that your presence has a positive effect on them. The consistency of these reactions, especially when you haven't done anything to prompt them, is a quiet but clear sign of your natural attractiveness. 13. You catch people staring at you. One of the most obvious signs of high attractiveness is when you frequently catch people staring at you. These looks might be quick glances, long-held gazes, or even repeated looks when they think you're not noticing. People are naturally drawn to beauty and presence, and when someone finds you attractive, it's hard for them to look away, even if they try to be subtle. Staring is often an unconscious reaction. It happens when someone is captivated or curious, and their attention lingers without them realizing it. Sometimes it's admiration, sometimes interest, and other times it's pure fascination. You may catch someone looking at you across a room while walking by, or even during casual moments like waiting in line. This kind of attention isn't always about vanity. It's about the impression you make. Your looks, style, posture, or energy can naturally draw the eye. And when it happens regularly, from different people and in various settings, it's usually a strong sign that you stand out in a way that others can't ignore. If you've ever made eye contact with someone who quickly looked away or smiled nervously, they were likely caught admiring you. Others assume you're in a relationship. When you're highly attractive, People often assume you must already be in a relationship, even if you're not. This assumption usually comes from the belief that someone with your looks, presence, or charm wouldn't be single. It's a reflection of how others perceive your value and desirability. This can show up in casual conversations, when someone asks if you're taken before even considering getting to know you. It might also come through in the form of hesitation. People may admire you from a distance but hold back from approaching, thinking you're already committed. Some may even express surprise if they find out you're single, as if it doesn't match the image they've created in their mind. Psychologically, people tend to associate beauty with availability being limited, assuming someone attractive has more romantic options or is already claimed. If you often hear comments like, "I figured you had a boyfriend," or "someone like you can't be single," it's a subtle sign that others view you as a highly desirable partner. It may feel like a compliment or a frustration at times, but either way, it shows how much your presence leaves an impression. 15. You make a strong first impression. Highly attractive people often leave a strong and lasting impression within moments of meeting someone. Whether it's your appearance, confidence, energy, or the way you carry yourself, something about you stands out right away. People might remember your name more easily, recall small details from your conversation, or mention how they felt something when they first met you. First impressions are shaped quickly, often in just a few seconds, and attractiveness plays a powerful role in that process. It's not only about physical features, your tone, expressions, eye contact, and overall vibe all contribute. If people often treat you with extra interest or enthusiasm the first time you meet, it's likely because your presence immediately catches their attention. Psychologically, attractive individuals are often perceived as more likable, capable, and trustworthy from the start. A concept known as the halo effect. This means people may be more drawn to you, more curious about you, or more eager to stay in touch after just one interaction. If you've noticed that people often react warmly, remember you easily, or seem intrigued from the very beginning, it's a strong sign that your attractiveness makes a meaningful impact right away.